Good morning, CTWA subscribers. One of my subscribers asked me, Tom, is the wall good practice? Absolutely, the wall is fantastic practice. I use the wall a lot when I was learning how to play. Can really help you develop your strokes. You know, I'm always promoting when you're working on technique, and the wall happens to be one of the best tools for working on your technique. If you don't have access to a hitting partner, the wall is fantastic. But remember, when you're practicing on the wall, you really want to focus on those 1 or 2 points. Now, here at the Academy, I may have numerous points for, let's say, a forehand. There might be 10 different points that you'll hear from me. But you have to use no more than 2 maximum. 1 or 2 is good. 2 is maximum though. And you have to pick the one that suits your needs. If you're having problems with, let's say your forehand is going long. Okay, if your forehand's going long, as an example, you'd want to concentrate on keeping the racket face closed as you bring it back. Notice my racket face is closed here. The palm of my hand is facing down. At the low point of the backswing, that's going to prevent you from hitting your shot long. Now, it might be, let's say you're not clearing the net. If you're not clearing the net, you've got to get that racket a foot lower than the contact point, wherever that contact point is. Could be here. If it's there, you've really got to come down. If it's up here, you're just bending a little. But you've got to get a good foot below the ball before you swing up, and that's going to give you the net clearance all the time. So you're working on low to high or a foot below. But the point I'm trying to make is focus. Use the brain. The brain's going to send the signals to the muscles, and you're going to burn that signal in the brain. You won't have to think about it anymore. When you're in a match, you're concentrating on your strategy, where you're trying to hit the ball, the score, how to play the point according to the score, things like that. But when you're working on your technique, the wall is a tremendous tool, and I highly recommend it. But when you're out practicing on the wall, don't just be hitting there aimlessly. You know, concentrate, focus on those 1 or 2 points. Now, here are a few of my recommendations on the wall. So you want to be far enough back from the wall that the ball can bounce twice. That way you have, you know, you're not rushing things. You're just taking your time and you're focusing on those 1 or 2 points. So I'm back far enough now where 1, 2, hit, 1, 2, and I'm just, you know, swinging nice and easy. I'm not trying to kill the ball, and I'm just focusing, let's say, on those 1 or 2 points, like maybe it's palm down. And remember, you want the wrist pretty much fixed in the contact area. So I might be thinking palm down, fixed here. Now, once I get to here, then I can let the wrist go all I want. But in that contact area, you want the wrist more in a fixed position with the racket moving on a low to high plane. So, you know, I'm just palm down and fixed. Palm down and fixed. Okay, on the backhand, it can be the same thing. Things we've been working on recently with the one-hander: pull the rubber band, release the rubber band. Just keep the hitting arm nice and loose like spaghetti, so you're, all right? And remember, and you can let the ball bounce twice and just pull it back and let it rip. And then you can throw in a slice, and you're letting the ball bounce twice. It's excellent practice. Okay, another thing you can do on the wall is practice your high volleys. You just come in a little closer, you put one down, and you're working on your high volley. So you just put it down. Now the key is there. See, I was hitting down a little too much. You want to let your racket go out. Remember, like it's on that tabletop and you're going straight across. So that was better, because that's going to give me a deeper volley. So I'm here. Another one you can work on is the swing volley. Just give yourself a high floater. And a point you might want to work on here is, remember, keep the elbow away from the body, keep that racket face closed, especially on the high one. If you open up even a little bit, the ball's going to sail on you. So I'm focusing on the elbow staying up. Okay, you can practice your slice, your forehand, and your backhand. 2 points you might want to focus on. Remember, many players have trouble with floating backhands. The ball seems to float on them. Okay, so if your ball is floating, you have to get the racket higher. You have to swing down more on the ball. So you might be focusing on just getting the racket up higher than the ball and swinging down. Now remember, your racket face is going to be laid back a little bit, so that's going to give you the net clearance. Don't worry about swinging down. Your racket's going to be open. So you're starting up high, you're coming down, and I'm letting the ball bounce twice here. And you see I'm keeping them pretty low here, close to the top of the net. And that's what you want when you're practicing slice. If your ball's coming up here, obviously you're floating your slice, so you've got to get the racket higher. You could also practice your forehand slice. So you're coming up high again and you're coming down on it. Remember, your racket is a little bit laid back, maybe 20 degrees. You can go even further, but then you're going to have to get the racket higher. It's more of a severe chop. Okay, what else can you practice? There's no end to it. You can practice them all. So approach shots as an example. So you might just put a ball up here and come in. Remember, on an approach shot, you don't want to stop. So you're going to hit it, and you keep coming in. Okay, on your topspin approach shot, remember, you're going to do that little hop as you come, and just keep going in. So here, I'm going to pop, keep coming. Keep coming. Don't waste your time when you're practicing on the wall and just hitting aimlessly. Focus. So I want to see the blur. And the toss is out in front. Okay, that was good. I saw the blur and the toss was out in front. Okay. You can practice overheads. Again, come in close, put one down. You want to get your feet in gear and go for spots. Remember, this shot is, remember the overhead, many players have trouble with their overhead. This is a great tool to practice your overhead. And what I suggest is when you practice this on the wall, go for the home run. Air it out, baby. you know, just take a real healthy swing. And you're going to start to gain some confidence. So you put the ball down, and then you're coming up, and you want to go for it. Go for that home run. Remember, serve and overhead are similar, so you might want to just keep the head up. See the blur of the racket go by. That would be a good thought to have in mind. Of course, you've got volleys. You can practice your volleys. So you're in close, and you're just, that's a little half volley there. Okay. You see, that's about all the swing you need on a volley. Especially if you know your opponent's hitting a ball with pretty good pace. You want that short little swing. Remember the things we focused on in the volley video. Just a short backswing, short forward swing. You can go high to low a little bit if you want to underspin the control. You can go across the tabletop. But these are the kind of things that you really need to focus on when you're practicing these shots. So really, there's no end to practice on the wall. Excellent tool. You can practice every shot you're going to hit in a match. So get out, use the wall. It's a great tool. Because the wall helped me so much when I was coming up, I used to be out there at 30 degrees hitting on the wall. I had my gloves on, and it really helped me groove some strokes. In honor of the wall, we have the off-the-wall sale of the Consistent Tennis Wins Academy. Now's the chance to pick up all the videos that I've done online for a very, very reasonable price. If you want the physical copies of the DVDs, it's a little extra, but well worth it because it has a menu and you can go to different areas that you want to focus on. But anyway, it's a pleasure working with all my subscribers. My goal is to help you become an independent tennis player. Meaning, when you make mistakes, you don't have to look at the sideline, you know, at somebody, what did I do wrong? You know what you did wrong. And then you can fix it. Knowledge is power to fix mistakes. And that's what I'm going to give you. I'm very good. I'm being honest here. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm very good with technique. So I can help you with that. So anyway, all the best. Happy hitting. Use the wall. You're going to improve. Have a good one.